We all know Sour Patch Kids are sweet, sour, and oh so addictive. But how exactly do they go from candy-making magic to the irresistible gummies we love? Well, buckle up, because today we're going behind the scenes at the Sour Patch factory, where the only thing more sour than the candies are the secrets we're about to reveal. From gooey centers to that perfect sugar coating, we're uncovering all the sour and sweet details you never knew you needed. Spoiler: no sour faces allowed, just a whole lot of sugar, chaos, and fun. Let's get into it. Ever wonder why those sour sweet treats you love are shaped like little troublemakers? Well, let's take a trip back in time to 1979, when these candies first hit the scene. You might be surprised to learn that they weren't always called Sour Patch Kids. These tangy treats started out as Mars Men, but that name didn't stick around for long. In the 1980s, they got a mischievous makeover, inspired by the Little Rascals TV show. Imagine a bunch of kids gathered around a candy counter, giggling as they spotted the new Sour Patch Kids for the first time. Their eyes light up with excitement, ready for a taste of sweet rebellion. The new name was a perfect fit for these candies. They're just like those kids you know who are sweet one minute and causing trouble the next. It's like they bottled up all that playful energy and put it right into the candy. Each little Sour Patch Kid looks like a tiny person with a head, body, arms, and legs. It's like you're eating a bunch of sugary troublemakers. The name change was a real game changer. Sales went up, and more people were buying these little rascals than ever before. It's amazing how a good name can make such a big difference, right? Now, let's talk about why this name works so well. You know how these candies start off super sour and then turn sweet? Well, that's just like those kids who play a prank on you one minute and then give you a big hug the next. It's like going on a flavor adventure with a mischievous friend. The success of Sour Patch Kids shows us how important branding can be. By changing the name to something more relatable and fun, the makers tapped into something people really connected with. It's not just a candy anymore. It's a whole personality. And it's not just kids who love these candies. Adults buy them too, maybe because it reminds them of being young and a bit naughty. It's like a little trip down memory lane with every bite. The Sour Patch Kids brand has grown a lot since those early days. Now you can find all sorts of flavors and even different shapes. But no matter what, they all keep that cheeky, mischievous spirit that made them famous in the first place. So, next time you pop a Sour Patch Kid in your mouth, remember, you're not just eating a candy, you're taking part in a little bit of confectionery history. From space aliens to lovable troublemakers, these candies have come a long way. Now that we've traveled through time with our sour sweet friends, let's dig into what really makes them tick. You know that tangy zing followed by a sweet surprise? It's all about science. And we've got some tasty tidbits to share about these flavor-packed troublemakers. Let's talk about what gives Sour Patch Kids their punch. Picture this: tiny sugar crystals wearing sour jackets. That's basically what's happening here. The star of the show is citric acid, the same stuff that makes lemons and limes make you pucker up. It's like a tiny flavor explosion in your mouth. Here's how these candies get their sour coats. Imagine a huge drum, kind of like a washing machine for candy. The Sour Patch Kids take a wild ride in this drum, tumbling around as they're showered with a special mixture of sour sugar. This tumbling is super important because it makes sure every single candy gets an even coat of sourness. But why does this matter so much? It's all about balance. The folks at the factory have to get this just right to create that perfect Sour Patch Kid experience. Too much sour and you'll be making faces like you just bit into a lemon. Too little and it's just another sweet treat. So what happens when you pop one of these little troublemakers in your mouth? Get ready for a flavor roller coaster. First, that sour coating hits your taste buds like a tart tidal wave. Your mouth might pucker a bit, but hang on, the ride's not over yet. As that sour coating starts to dissolve, something magical happens. The sweetness hiding underneath starts to peek through. It's like watching a play unfold on your tongue. Act 1. The sour sensation. As the curtain rises, you see the candy's rough, crystalline exterior. The citric acid takes center stage, delivering its zesty performance. But wait, there's a plot twist. As Act 2 begins, the sour actors slowly exit stage left. The candy's exterior starts to smooth out, and a new cast of sweet flavors makes their grand entrance. It's a flavor transformation right in your mouth. This isn't just a happy accident. The clever folks who make Sour Patch Kids planned this flavor journey. They created a two-step taste experience that keeps your mouth guessing. It's this unique flavor layering that makes people come back for more. This whole process is a big part of why people love Sour Patch Kids so much. Each candy is like a little adventure for your mouth. Will it be extra sour this time? How long until the sweetness kicks in? It's these little moments of anticipation that make eating Sour Patch Kids so fun. And here's something to think about next time you're munching on these candies. That sour to sweet journey is happening because of some pretty cool food science. The makers of Sour Patch Kids have figured out how to create a candy that interacts with your taste buds in a specific order. It's like they've programmed a tiny taste computer in each piece. Let's peek behind the curtain and see what goes into making those mischievous little Sour Patch Kids. You might think it's all magic and mystery, but it turns out there's a pretty specific recipe for creating these sour then sweet troublemakers. First up, we've got sugar. No surprises there, right? It's the main ingredient that gives these candies their sweet base. But there's more to this story than just sweetness. Corn syrup joins the party next. This sticky stuff isn't just for sweetness. It's the secret to that perfect chewy texture. It prevents sugar crystals from forming, giving you that smooth bite every time. Now, let's talk colors. Each Sour Patch Kid gets its own look thanks to food coloring. See a red one? That's strawberry. Spot an orange one. You guessed it, orange flavor. But what about that iconic shape? That's where modified cornstarch comes in. It's like the candy skeleton, helping it keep its form and giving it that texture we all love. Of course, we can't forget the flavors. Natural and artificial flavors give each color its unique taste. Grab a handful and you're getting a whole rainbow of flavors. Now, here's where the magic really happens. All these ingredients come together in a carefully choreographed dance. Picture this, massive industrial mixers, like the biggest mixing bowl you've ever seen times 100. Start the show. The dance begins with sugar, corn syrup, and water taking center stage. Then gelatin joins in, dissolving completely to avoid any unwanted clumps. It's all about teamwork here. Each ingredient plays its part perfectly. Temperature is the conductor of this candy symphony. Get it wrong, and you'll end up with grainy candy instead of that smooth, chewy texture we crave. It's all about hitting the right notes at the right time. As the mixture swirls, flavors and colors pirouette into the mix. They're added slowly, bit by bit, like dancers joining a performance one by one. This careful process ensures every single Sour Patch Kid turns out just right. The grand finale, creating a mixture with just the right thickness. Too thin and it won't set in the molds. Too thick and you'll get some pretty weird looking candies. It's all about finding that sweet spot where everything comes together perfectly. This whole process is like a well-oiled machine, or better yet, a perfectly choreographed dance troupe. Each step, from mixing to molding, is crucial in creating those sour then sweet treats we can't get enough of. It's not just about throwing ingredients together. It's about creating a candy that's greater than the sum of its parts. So next time you pop a Sour Patch Kid in your mouth, think about the intricate dance that went into creating that perfect chewy texture and burst of flavor. It's a testament to the art and science of candy making, all wrapped up in one tiny, mischievous package. Alright, let's see how those mischievous little Sour Patch Kids get their iconic shape. You might think it's as simple as pouring candy goo into a mold, but there's a whole lot more to it. Time to meet the real heroes of this story, the molds. These aren't your grandma's cookie cutters. We're talking about heavy-duty metal or silicone sculptors of sweetness. They're designed to create those little troublemakers we know and love, complete with heads, arms and legs. Before the candy mixture goes in, there's a neat trick to prevent sticking. The factory artisans dust the molds with cornstarch, like greasing a baking pan but for candy. Now comes the fun part. Remember that big blob of candy mixture we made earlier? It's time to give it some shape. The workers carefully pour the gooey candy into each mold, filling every nook and cranny. It's kind of like filling an ice cube tray, but way more exciting. Once the molds are filled, it's time for the waiting game. This isn't just about cooling down. It's an essential part of creating that perfect chewy texture we all love. Depending on how thick our candy kids are, it can take anywhere from a few hours to a whole day. During this time, something magical happens. The candy solidifies and the kid shape really starts to form. After what probably feels like forever to our candy artisans, it's time to see if our kids are ready to face the world. They carefully liberate these sugary characters from their molds, revealing their true form. At this point, our Sour Patch Kids are starting to look like themselves, but they're still a bit soft and sticky. The next step is crucial. It's drying time. The newly shaped candies are spread out and left to dry. This might not sound exciting, but it's super important. It's what gives Sour Patch Kids their perfect chewy texture. Too little drying time, and they'll be too sticky. Too much, and they'll be too hard. It's a delicate balance that our candy craftsmen have down to a science. During this drying time, the candies are watched more closely than a souffle in a baking show. The workers keep a close eye on them, making sure they're drying evenly and maintaining that just right chewiness. It's like babysitting, but for candy. Finally, after all this waiting and watching, our Sour Patch Kids are ready for their close-up. But before they can be packaged up and sent out into the world, they have to pass one final test: inspection. Eagle-eyed inspectors give each candy a once-over, looking for any imperfections. Maybe one kid has a wonky arm, or another is missing a leg. These candies don't make the cut. Only the best-looking Sour Patch Kids get to move on to the next stage. It's like a beauty pageant, but way more delicious. You've seen our Sour Patch Kids take shape, but they're still missing that signature pucker power. Let's dive into the sour shower that turns these sweet shapes into the tangy treats we can't resist. Our candies are about to take a spin in what looks like a giant washing machine. But don't worry, we're not cleaning these tasty morsels. We're giving them a sour makeover. This big machine is called a coating pan, and it's where the magic happens. As the coating pan starts to turn, our little candy kids begin their wild ride. Round and round they go, tumbling over each other like they're having the time of their lives. While they're spinning, a fine mist sprays over them. It's not water though. It's a special mixture of liquid sugar and citric acid. This is the secret sauce that gives Sour Patch Kids their mouth-puckering kick. Getting the coating just right is a delicate balance. Too much of the sour mixture, and your taste buds might go into shock. Too little, and you'll be left wondering where the zing went. The candy makers have to be super careful to get it just right. This sour shower doesn't happen in the blink of an eye either. The candies keep spinning and getting sprayed for quite a while. It's a bit like waiting for your laundry to finish, except way more exciting and definitely tastier. As the process goes on, you can see the candies starting to change. They begin to look like they've been dusted with a fine sour snow. It's pretty cool to see the transformation happening right before your eyes. Once the coating is done, the excess sugar gets shaken off. We don't want our Sour Patch Kids to be too messy after all. Then they're left to cool and dry. This step is super important because it helps the sour sugar stick properly and keeps the candies looking fresh and appealing. But we're not done yet. Even after the sour shower, there's still more checking to do. The candies go through another round of quality control. Workers make sure each piece has just the right amount of sour coating. They also double-check that the candies still meet the brand standards for size and shape. It's like a final exam for our sour students. The coolest part about this whole process is how it perfectly balances technology with good old-fashioned attention to detail. The coating machine does the heavy lifting, spraying and tumbling the candies. But it's the skilled workers who make sure everything's just right, using their experience and keen eyes to ensure every batch is perfect. Imagine biting into a Sour Patch Kid. That first shock of sourness hits your tongue, making your mouth pucker. Then, as the coating dissolves, you get that sweet relief. That's exactly what we're aiming for with this process. It's this perfect balance of sour and sweet that makes Sour Patch Kids the irresistible treats we all love. Now that our Sour Patch Kids have gotten their sour shower, let's take a peek at the real powerhouse of candy creation, the production line. Imagine a high-speed orchestra, but instead of musicians, it's filled with machines working in perfect harmony to create tiny, sour-coated candies. That's pretty much what we're dealing with here. These candy highways never sleep. They're churning out Sour Patch Kids 24/7. making sure there's always enough to satisfy our sweet and sour tooth cravings. And here's the mind-blowing part. In just 60 seconds, these machines can pump out thousands of Sour Patch Kids. That's right, thousands. By the time you finish reading this sentence, hundreds more candies have popped into existence. Pretty cool, huh? Let's take a stroll down this candy highway and see what's happening. At the start, we've got our freshly made sour-coated candies. They're all ready for their final adventure before meeting their adoring fans. That's us. As they cruise along, these little candies go through a few more important steps. They get one last check to make sure they're perfectly chewy. Not too soft, not too hard. Just right for that satisfying Sour Patch Kid texture we all love. Next up, it's time for quality control. Eagle-eyed workers and smart machines team up to make sure every candy looks just right. Any Sour Patch Kid that's a bit wonky or didn't get enough sour coating gets plucked off the line. Don't worry though, no candy goes to waste. These rejects often get melted down and remade into perfect candies later. Now comes the really fun part, packaging. Have you ever wondered how they get exactly the right number of candies in each bag? They use super smart packaging machines. These machines are like the ultimate candy counters, scooping up just the right amount of Sour Patch Kids for each bag. They're incredibly fast and super accurate. It's pretty amazing to watch. Candies go in one end and perfectly filled bags come out the other. But we're not done yet. Once the bags are filled, they need to be sealed up tight. This step is super important because it keeps our Sour Patch Kids fresh and tasty. The machines seal each bag quickly and securely, making sure no air or moisture can get in. After all, a stale Sour Patch Kid is a sad Sour Patch Kid, and we can't have that. By the end of just one day, millions of Sour Patch Kids have made their way through this candy highway. That's millions of sour, sweet, chewy treats ready to hit the shelves and make their way to candy bowls and movie theaters across the country. It's pretty incredible when you think about it. Every single Sour Patch Kid you've ever eaten has gone through this journey, from a mix of simple ingredients to a perfectly formed, sour-coated, quality-checked and freshly packaged treat. This whole process is a testament to both cutting-edge technology and human craftsmanship. Each candy is the result of precision and passion, a tiny masterpiece created by this high-speed candy orchestra, and it all happens in a matter of hours. From simple ingredients to a taste sensation, Sour Patch Kids have come a long way. Let's appreciate their journey. From mixing vats to sour showers, each step adds magic to create that perfect sour then sweet treat we love. The Sour Patch Kids team keeps innovating with exciting new flavors like blue raspberry. Next time you're munching these tangy treats, think about all the work behind them. From factory to taste buds, it's quite an adventure. Now, here's a fun question. Which Sour Patch Kid flavor is your absolute favorite? Share your top pick in the comments. Time to grab a bag and do some tasty research.